welcome along to our first session here on Fooltime. I want to send a shout out going out to our sponsors, Racetrack Motors. They're down there on Grey Street. Also want to send a special shout out and a very happy birthday going out to cousin Ora Tokumo, who is celebrating her birthday today. Of course, we welcome on to our show. First off, we're saying a big kia ora going out to our bro up there in Paeroa from Niwa FM, Rino Wilkinson. Morena, bro.
Yeah, morena, bros. Good to be back on another Saturday show, full time, and into the month of March already. Hiri turi koka, nearly September. Spring's on the way, so look forward to nice blue skies here in Paeroa. Looking like a lovely day.
Joining us from somewhere around the world, probably back home in Australia, we have our man JT, Jason Tawhiwhirangi. Morena, bro.
Yeah, morning, Keithy. I almost called you Raa, but of course Raa's still on the B-Day or wherever he is. Morning, good to hear you boys back in Australia after a bit of a jaunt through Europe and then back through Singapore. So, look, happy to be home.
Now, let's talk about your trip, because it sounded like you had a heck of a lot of fun. You know, obviously the highlight for you was the island, and you're trying to convince Rino to go over there, bro. So why don't you tell us about your trip? Yeah, look, I sort of did a bit of a post on Facebook ranking them in order of first, second and third. Island won by the length of the home straight in terms of enjoyment, satisfaction, and just a pure love of the place. One of the Irish folks I met were in a pub and he said, you know what, the Irish are the Polynesians of Europe, and I thought, yeah, you're pretty much spot on. They're just lovely, wonderful, fantastic people, and they don't take themselves too seriously. And I think I might have said it last week, under the influence of alcohol, that they hold a similar love for the British, or for the British monarchy, as some of us Māori do, certainly as I do anyway. So that's why I have a strong bond with the Irish. In second place was probably Rome. I've always had a fascination for the Roman Empire and all that sort of stuff, and to go to places like the Colosseum and the Trevi Fountain and other places, and just to walk the streets of Rome, the cobblestones, which for the first couple of 20 minutes or so are quite a novelty, but then when you've rolled at your ankle a couple of times, damn things, it's not so much fun anymore. Yeah.
And third place was Paris, boys, which was Lois' choice to go there. I wasn't really keen to go there. I heard about it with regards to the way they are rude to foreigners. But I couldn't fault them. Didn't experience one one rude person at all. Our French wasn't the strongest when we went there, but we left with a few more words, and I can't speak highly enough of the way that we were treated, and very much respect.
Right.
A notable fourth, boys, I don't know if we normally talk the brown stuff on this show, but a notable fourth place was the various B-Days. I don't know if you used any of those in your time, but just a fantastic event.
Okay.
I've been using one if you can get the chance.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever used one, but I understand that, Rino, now you're thinking of heading over to Ireland though, eh, bro?
Yeah, definitely. After JT's been talking about it over the last few weeks or so, look, my wife's been very keen to go to Ireland, Wales in Scotland. Take a look at her background. Her maiden name's Caldwell. There's a castle over there. It's affiliated to the family, taken way back in the history, and just got a fascination with Ireland. Look, a couple of years ago, the girls had their Rugby World Cup there, and she said to me, she says, why didn't we just go there for a holiday? And I said, well, this is it. And JT's kind of pretty well nailed it on the head. I said to Tina, should we just miss out Origin next year and we'll go to Ireland, eh? So it sounds like we're on the card to go and check out the Clover country.
Right. And it looks like a beautiful country over there as well, JT.
Yeah, very, very similar to what we have back in New Zealand. They're very green, rolling hills. Probably due to the fact that they get a lot of rain like New Zealand does, I suppose.
Right.
And just lots of similarities in the way people carry themselves, I think. Like I said, don't take themselves too seriously. Enjoy a bit of a laugh and enjoy a bit of a sing-song as well. So, like the fellow said over there, they are the Polynesians of Europe.
Right. Now, I thought it was interesting because the very first post I saw, I think when you were in France, was and I think it kind of continued with those pictures of you, of your face in the toilet
And I think that was an interesting way to get started, JT? What inspired that?
Just why I thought, people go over to Europe and take cheesy pictures outside the Eiffel Tower and whatnot. But I'll try something different. And just a bit of a laugh, mate. I've got a bit of a warped sense of humour. And then it all evolved into when we got to Rome. So we stayed right in the heart of Rome in the old part, and lots of it has been renovated. So we stayed in a nice Airbnb. But one of the things I haven't been able to get on top of is the plumbing or the sewage situation. So the lady that hosted us said, "Oh, look, if you don't mind, please don't use too much toilet paper because it gets clogged up, blah, blah, blah." And I know people are probably having breakfast while they listen to this, but I apologise for that. So in every place we stayed in Rome, in Italy, there was, right next door to it was a bidet. And I've seen them before throughout the States and parts of Asia we've been to in the past, and I thought, nah, I'm not using one of those. But I thought to try and, do my part for conservation and whatever else, I'll give it a go. So, yeah, sat down, mate, and it's a very strange feeling, but quite liberating.
Okay.
And it was all when we stopped in Singapore. So Rome has the old style ones where like a water fountain, I guess.
Yeah.
When I got to Singapore, there's a remote on the wall. I thought, what's this thing? So I pulled it off, and it's got different squirt settings. I again apologise to anyone having it at the moment. So you can get jet and spray and mist and like a full-on turbo one. And I thought, well, I'll go through the whole lot while I'm here. I might as well. I actually went through the whole lot 3 times, boys. That's my last. Going, what are you doing in there? Hurry up! Yeah, hang on. Then another little dryer one, which dries off the affected area. But the best one was the little puff of scented powder, which give it a little poof, and away you go. Absolutely, boys, absolutely.
You've made the toilet experience a lot more different for me. That is for sure. But it certainly, obviously. Was a wonderful trip. 3 weeks, wasn't it, JT?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was 22 days or something. We actually cut it short. We were meant to be gone for another 10 days, but about 2 weeks ago, about a month before we left, we thought, nah, stuff, that's too long.
Yeah.
So we cut it. We missed out a few things we wanted to do, but in saying that, we did get through quite a few things. Went from Rome last week after we spoke. I had to get up early and catch a train to Venice. The Venice experience is a lot different. We got there and I struggled to, how are we going to order a taxi or an Uber? And then we realised, hang on, there's no roads, it's all canal. So I had to walk over this massive to catch a bus and then a train to our hotel. And mate, different place again, through to Prague and up to Copenhagen. Went across to a place called Malmo in Sweden. And then flew back via Singapore. Yeah, definitely was a whirl. Got a lot done, saw a lot, but would like to go back again and just probably not do so much travelling because I counted up. We went through 15 airports in that time and 2 train stations. So
right.
Yeah, very very busy schedule, but glad to have done it and absolutely would do it again.
One hell of a trip indeed. Wow. Yeah, that sounds like pretty awesome, Reno?
Mate, that sounds like a trip of a lifetime. Obviously, all the memories, and you can reflect on that. And I got to say, I like the puff, the poof. Yeah.
It's only the French can do it too.
It's an experience, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wow, great trip, and obviously good to be back home though. At the end of the day, eh?
Yeah, just got a bit tedious towards the end there. We went by from Copenhagen to Doha to Qatar, and Qatar to Singapore. So that's about 14 hours of flying plus an hour and a bit stopover, and then Singapore, and then 8 hours back into Australia. So yeah, just the last couple of days got a bit over it. But once you saw Australia, the sweet and touchdown, and then got into our own bed, and I went back to work yesterday morning. So I'm at work at the moment, but it's all good. Yeah. Got to pay for these things somehow.
Indeed you do. So yeah, well, it would certainly sound like one awesome trip there, JT, and obviously you come back and all set and ready. I'm not sure if you're refreshed or anything, but all set and ready for the upcoming weeks, and of course for Fooltime, eh, bro?
Oh, mate, looking for it. Yeah, absolutely can't wait to get into some Fooltime and ask Raa Walker why he's posting so much We'll leave that one for now.
Yeah, I know. There is just so much stuff that he's posting on his Facebook page. It's quite unreal. Well, we kick off, I guess, into what we would call sport, but something, because on Wednesday, Reno? Wednesday, we got into a lot of sport, but there was one thing that we forgot to talk about extensively, and I guess we've got full time, and we've got a chance to talk about it even more so right now, and then that, of course, is the Fortnite World Cup, which was just amazing. Millionaires were created, not just ordinary millionaires, but teenage millionaires. The biggest one, obviously, was this young boy, Booger, I think is what his nickname is, Kyle Gernstoff, who won $3 million US as the solo champion for Fortnite, which was just unreal. What do you reckon, Reno?
Yeah, it is an unreal experience, obviously, for most of us who are the old school. This is the whole new school coming on through. When you think of this Booker, 16-year-old, $3 million US, so about $4.5 New Zealand dollars.
Yep.
For a young 16-year-old to win that at its inaugural World Cup, just tells you how massive this event is. I understand, too, there are so many players around the world who try to qualify for the finals.
Yes.
2 New Zealanders who went over to represent. They came last, but they came home with like $76,000 each.
Yep.
You know, so just going over there and winning $76,000.
I know, for coming last.
For anyone is for coming last,
yes,
exactly.
For coming last.
This young kid's won 4 million New Zealand. So, no, it is the way of the future. It's the way it's going, mate. It just tells you the phenomenon of gaming, e-games. Watch out for e-games, which is going to be introduced into something we know as the Olympics as well. So, yeah, it's a crazy thing, but it's here. It's here to stay, I'd say.
It's here to stay, without a doubt. It's here to stay. For good or for bad, whether we like it or not, it certainly is here to stay. And boy, I tell you what, was it kind of appropriate that they had the finals? Because from what I understand, 40 million people participated in the World Cup, but it came down to the final 100. And it happened to be at the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York, of course, traditionally where they hold the US Tennis Open. So what do you reckon? Was it appropriate to have it in a sports stadium like that, bro?
Oh, definitely. You know, they're going to bring it there. The Americans love this type of stuff, so I think it is. What better place to have it? And it's the first time for this big thing. Look, we talked about that young 16-year-old, the 4 million. Even the pro amateur winners, they both won $1 million each.
Yeah, unbelievable.
For just being amateurs. But, yeah, it is. It's crazy. Even, so much money involved in this. It's huge.
I know.
I think no matter what it is, but it is what it is. And, I reckon it's a good stadium, bro.
I think there was if I did my research correctly, and I'm pretty sure I did, they had a pool of 45 million. And that I don't know how much they paid to get in, but with 40 million people, obviously they would have had, I don't know how much it was to get in, but yeah, man, this is just something that's just going to get bigger and bigger, I reckon. What do you reckon, Reno?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is going to get bigger. Look, when you put that into context, say as an example, each player paid $10, and I know they paid more than that.
Yes.
You add that up to 40 to 45 million, man. That's some big money involved there.
Yeah.
It's much bigger than anything we've experienced on the sporting sector. So there's money in there, huge money. And the people who design this type of stuff, create the games, even the consoles that they played on, let alone the concept, you'd much really end up looking at some of those gentlemen as possibility in the future as some of the wealthiest men in the world, if not already. So something not to be snigged at or laughed at, because there's some big coin involved here, and there's nothing like pittance. It's huge money. So when you draw something like 45 million to be part of an event, it's nothing that the world has ever seen before.
Yeah. Just really, really unreal. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard about it there, JT, but have you heard about the Fortnite World Cup there, bro?
Yeah, I did read